So if you are a self-taught engineer and you are preparing to start applying for jobs, preparing to start getting ready for that job hunt, today's video, we're going to cover what resources to use, what steps to take to help you find your first job as a software engineer. If that interests you, hey, stick around. We're going to jump right in. How do you prepare for, how do you get that job? Once you've learned everything, once you feel confident, how do you get that job? How do you get your foot in the door of a company? Let's talk about those things. Well, I just mentioned about in learning, I just mentioned about creating your own projects. One of the first things you want to do is, as you create your own projects, create a portfolio website, create an awesome HTML, CSS website that it's basically considered your portfolio. Point to some things you've built. Create your online resume. Have it online. That's one of the first steps is to build that. As you build projects, as you work on projects or create your own web pages, put those projects in GitHub. Learn how to use GitHub, create your own little GitHub and start putting your projects there. You're going to point to those projects later as part of your portfolio. You're going to show people that you can put what you've learned into practice. You want to do that, right? What if you can't come up with projects on your own to build or web pages on your own to build? Well, reach out to people. Do you have family members who have a business that need a web page? Do you have a local charity, a local church, or local organization that you could help build web pages for? Now, a lot of people will tell you, don't give your talent away for free or for pennies. Well, when you're first starting out, you need experience. And if that experience, if you're going to do it for like a charity, if you're going to do it for free at first or for pennies, that's fine. I've heard people recommend don't do it because you're giving away your talent for nothing. Well, that's not true. You need experience to get your foot in the door. Having those things on your portfolio. If you can't build your portfolio any other way, then work for charities. Build web page. Find a local business that doesn't have a web page that you happen to like. Build a web page for them. Give it to them for free, or go to them and say, hey, then build a web page for them. Take it to them and say, hey, would you like to buy this? Right? Build a portfolio. Look for creative avenues to build stuff for other people. At the very least, of course, you want to build your portfolio website or resume website for yourself. Now, if you can't find those things, you can always create fun little projects. Build a game or a website game in JavaScript. Build something creative. Just practice. But one way to actually build stuff for people is go out to places like Fiverr, Fiverr.com. I think it's Fiverr.com. Search for Fiverr. You'll find it. You could actually put your services up for sale there to build a web page for someone, right? And take on jobs that you can handle. Don't take on too much, but find a good job there on Fiverr. Build a web page for somebody. Doesn't matter how much you charge them. Build a web page for somebody. If they use it, hey, that goes on your portfolio. That's a good thing for your portfolio. Now, we've mentioned definitely want to be involved in social media. You want to network, right? One way to learn is through social media and through these hashtags that I mentioned earlier, networking with people, learning from them, but it's also a good way to find out how other people are reaching out to companies, getting their foot in the door. Be active on social media. Go to your local user group. Most of the bigger cities have Java or web development user groups. Go to those meetups, attend those meetups, meet people. Oftentimes you'll have companies there even looking to hire people. Join those user groups, be involved, build some connections. You also want to consider, as part of building that social media presence, create a LinkedIn account, get yourself on LinkedIn, put a link from LinkedIn to your portfolio website, put all your information out on LinkedIn. That's one way to find recruiters who are looking for people to hire. One thing you can also consider is, you don't necessarily have to get that full-time job with a company right away. Sometimes getting your foot in the door means contracting for a contracting company. Oftentimes, if you're starting out, that's a good way to get experience. A lot of people do it full-time. They're contractors full-time. Some people prefer to work directly for a particular company versus contracting. But for sure, contracting is definitely a good way to get experience. Find a contracting company. They're everywhere. Recruiters for contracting companies are everywhere. And contracting is a good way to get that experience. And the bar sometimes can be a little lower in contracting. One thing about contracting is if you work for a given company and you're not working out, it's easy for them to grab somebody else and fill that position. So I oftentimes, maybe I'm wrong, don't quote me, but I feel like the bar is a little bit lower for getting your foot in the door with contracting. So work with a contractor, a recruiter, become a contractor, get your foot in the door, work hard, show them that you're one of the ones that's worth hiring full time, then get hired full time for a company. Now, as you start getting opportunities, as you start applying for jobs, right? You've got your portfolio website, you've got your presence on LinkedIn, you're starting to apply for jobs, you've created a resume, you're pointing to your portfolio, here's networking. As you start getting job interviews, you need to be prepared, right? How can you be prepared? Well, you definitely want to practice coding problems, coding questions, right? You want to practice interview questions. You want to practice interviewing for jobs. Interviewing is an art. I've been an engineer for 20 years. I've been very successful at every company I've worked at. But when it comes to interviewing, even for me, it's kind of a coin toss. You have to be confident. You have to know how to answer certain questions a certain way. You need to be practiced in interviewing. You need to be practiced in answering interview questions and coding questions. Oftentimes, the questions and things that are asked there are not necessarily things that are going to be used on the job as much as you might think, unfortunately. So be prepared for coding interviews. Practice them. Practice answering interview questions. Practice answering coding questions on a whiteboard or on a notepad. Just practice, practice, practice. It's very important. And even do mock interviews. Do mock interviews with people. Now, one good way to practice for interviews is to get the book Cracking the Coding Interview. Cracking the Coding Interview. It's a great book. It will teach you how to be prepared for interviewing. Again, Cracking the Coding Interview. I think I have it right here. This is from Gail, and forgive me if I say it wrong. Lockman McDowell. Gail Lockman McDowell. Great book. This book is awesome. Even with all the experience that I have, I often will, if I'm switching to switch jobs, I want to practice. I go back to this to remind me of certain things I need to practice on. It's a great book, so highly recommend it. So again, be sure you're prepared for interviews, and it takes time. Don't give up. One of the things you must have to become a software engineer without a degree is determination. You've got to be determined. You may go through 50, 60, 70 interviews before you finally get your foot in the door. It takes time and it takes a lot of practice. Don't give up. Keep trying, keep learning. If you like learning, keep it up, keep learning. You can do it. You will succeed, I guarantee you. There's a lot of jobs out there. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please, hey guys, click the thumbs up. That really helps us get the word out, helps this channel a lot. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions about what I've said today, leave me a message below. I'm very good at responding to comments below, and I always try to get back to you. So definitely leave me a comment below. Check out the rest of our videos. Check out our HTML building blocks. Check out our JavaScript building blocks. Check out our CSS building block videos. They're really good videos to start with also. If you are starting your adventure on becoming a software engineer, you've decided you're going to learn on your own and do that. Hey, best of luck, best wishes. You can do it. Just follow these items. Don't give up. Be determined. Keep learning. You will make it. It took me 3 or 4 years to finally get my foot in the door. Actually, 2 or 3 years to finally get my foot in the door. And I've been doing it for 20 years since. So you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Keep up the hard work. You will get there. Just be determined. So, hey, again, if you liked the video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed yet, click subscribe. It really helps us out a lot. And if you know somebody who might benefit from hearing this video, send them a link to this video, pass it around. We really appreciate it. Thank you for watching today, and best of luck to your job adventure. Have a great day.